It's a beautiful morning. You're welcome to Women's Corner. It's exciting to be here. I'm so excited to be here. Christmas is gone, but we're looking out for the new year, and I'm excited to want to share the new year. And you're welcome to Women's Corner. Of course, you know what we do here. My name is Rose Blossom. I want you to know that we have our YouTube channels at Galaxy TV Comedy, Galaxy TV News, Galaxy TV Entertainment. So you can like, subscribe, and share. And of course, guess what? We have an app on Google Play Store and Apple Play Store. So you can download the app right there and just type in Galaxy TV. Download the app. We're also on our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So you can just check for Galaxy TV Entertainment, Galaxy TV Web, or Galaxy TV Vibe. You're welcome again. I have my co-host with me as usual. Her name is Covenant. But let her do your introduction yourself. Good morning, girl. How you doing?
Good morning, Rose Blossom. Good morning, our dear viewers. I mean, it's Monday, but also tomorrow will be the end of the year. My goodness, I feel so much. I don't know. At some point, I've been feeling overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my God, tomorrow is gonna be the end of the year. It's exciting. It's exciting, but we move. It's so good to be here, and welcome again to the Women's Corner. My name is Covenant, aka the Lagos Girl. We've got a very beautiful topic today, and also a beautiful guest. But before we dive into the cocoa of the day, Rose Blossom.
Yes, before we dive into the cocoa of the day, like she said, we have something we always like to show you, more like a preamble before the main stuff. So yes, this one will be checking, because we are talking about the power of saying no from a women's angle. Women, we're so emotional, we tend to say yes to almost everything, but we need to set boundaries. Not be everything you go say yes to. But anyways, we're not doing that justice to the topic ourselves. We have guests that will be joining us via Zoom. But before that, I want you to know how to create a healthy boundary. Trust me, 2024 is gone. The mistake is being made. You can rebrand yourself, remake yourself. Throw away the picture of 2024, just pick the lessons. And 2025, you create the boundaries, you make it healthy, and make it better. So let's quickly check the tips on how you can create a healthy boundary, both in your office space, both in your home, both in your friendship, in your relationship. And somebody just told me this morning that Blossom, I'm in a situationship. I'm like, welcome, girl. We've all had a situationship before. Yeah. You'll get over it. But here you have to just know how to create healthy boundaries. So let's quickly watch this one. I'll be right back to the studio to continue the program. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Yes, still watching Women's Corner, and like I said, I'm going to introduce my guests very quickly. Okay, so we have today Amos Alegbe Temitope. She is the CEO of Thames Pride. She's also a business administrator. She's a diet and living coach. She is a social media manager and also a women advocate. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Blossom. Good morning, Covenant. I hope you had a nice time during your Christmas period.
Good morning. How was your Christmas celebration?
Yeah, fine. I really enjoyed myself, with my family vacation, to a quiet place, to enjoy nature, So it was a very, very, very enjoying period for me.
Okay, amazing. Before we go into the topic, of course, power of saying no, I want to ask, do you have any new resolution? Maybe I could tap energy from yours, because I'm like picking from different people. At first, I was talking about loving self-care, being intentional about self. Then the second one was a friend of mine said she's going to start her fitness journey. And Covenant also said the same thing. So two persons. So I've added that to a New Year's resolution. Maybe if you share yours, I will pick from your own too. What's your New Year resolution?
All right, the new resolution that I have is that I'm going to improve on myself reading ability. My reading, I have to improve on it. Compared to what I'm doing that I did this year, to improve more. This year, I think one book for almost 2 weeks, but by next year, I want to do more than that. At least one book per week.
Nice.
That is deep.
That is
deep. I can't do one book per week.
At least
because
maybe
of work.
one book. Yeah.
Yeah.
One book maybe in a month.
In a month. Okay, one book a month. We could try that one. Okay, so you see the borrowed one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to write that down.
Yeah, one has to be intentional,
Okay.
It's not easy though.
Okay.
Yeah, you made mention of
Okay, all right. So let's
intentionality is the key
just
word
go
there.
to our topic right now, the power of saying no and setting boundaries. First, I want to start with relationship. Now, sometimes when we're in love, we tend to, lose all the wires and all the knots. We just tend to do things because of our feelings and emotions, especially for women, basically. Now, how do you know when and how and what boundaries you need to set? Let me put that again. How do you know when to set boundaries? What kind of boundaries do you have to put? And when do you think is the right time to actually set these boundaries? Remember, we are very emotional species as a woman. So it's very important that we know the right time to do all of these things. So please, in your words as much as possible, try to explain to us so we can actually understand all about this boundary.
Okay, yeah, like you said the other time, that for one to have healthy relationship, we must learn to set boundaries and to say no, And I think the first thing we should know, or we should take note, is when you want to set boundary, you must understand your limits.
Okay.
How far you can go, what I can do, what I cannot do. You must know who you are. Then you must know that doesn't align with your value. So when you have such things, then you need to know that I need to say no. I need to set boundaries. Something that is giving you discomfort. If you accept this thing, it's going to give you a lot of discomfort, or it's going to affect you. Then you must say no. And when people know you for that, they won't go beyond their own limit as well.
Okay. All right. So I have another question. So talking about setting boundaries, how about a lady or a woman that wants to really set boundaries, because let's say she already knows her limits and she already knows what she's comfortable with and what she's not comfortable with. So she wants to set these boundaries, but she's also scared and she fears that once she sets this boundary, she would lose some people. She would lose the people that used to be in her life. She would lose them because of the boundary setting. So how do you think she should go about setting boundaries?
All right, like me, whatever that I know that is not is not going to that is going to give too much pressure on me, I won't do anything to discomfort myself just to please others. And that's what many people tend to do, especially ladies. You want to inconvenience yourself, I don't want to make this person to get angry. I don't want to make this person to see me as somebody that is not being helpful. In the process, you now begin to inconvenience yourself, something that it's detrimental to your health. You start accepting things that you cannot do, and yet you are eroding your own self-care, the love you have for yourself. And that's what a lot of ladies do in a relationship. I just want to please this person. I want to please this guy. I don't want to see me as a bad person, and then you are doing something, you are overwhelmed already. There's nothing bad in saying no. There's nothing bad in saying this, I can't do it. Because we don't have that self-love, we don't practice that self-care, and that is why we begin to inconvenience ourselves, giving ourselves discomfort, things that are not convenient for us to please others. It's because we don't have self-love or self-care for ourselves. And that's why such a lady will do such thing.
Okay. That's
Okay,
really
self-love,
profound.
self-care. I love that one. Okay, now let's bring it back a little bit to the office space. Now we've talked about friendship, relationship, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the office. We know a lot of women tend to be very jovial, and same thing. There are some men who are also very jovial. But sometimes if you're not careful, I'm not saying this to shade the men, but sometimes when you're too jovial or playful with the men, they tend to offend you even in their speaking or in their character towards you. And they will expect, because you're jovial, you're playful, you let it go. Now, how can you set a healthy boundary with your male colleagues, especially? I'm going to come to the women later. With your male colleagues especially, that they do not get offended. Well, some people will say let them get offended, but you just have to set your boundary. But we don't want to get them offended, and we do not want to probably lose the friendship or closure we have with them, like not growing how like put it, a thick negative skin towards each other.
Yeah, and in the office with your male colleague, let them know you for who you are. Yes, you can be very, very jovial. At the same time, you set boundaries. This is the level we can go to. If you're joking, if it's too much, let them know. You don't need to hide your feelings. You don't need to, stop pretending, who you are not. Once they know they are overstepping their boundary, they too will quickly apologize. But if you continue to accept that, now, let me give you a scenario. Now, a lady was working in an organization, and there's this a close colleague of hers. They do joke, talk and chat a lot, and it got to a particular time, the guy started doing all this touchy stuff, he said, oh, stop that, stop doing that, you didn't let him know that this, I don't like it, as much as you want, as much as you are joking with that person, but once you know, immediately your countenance change. You know that he's overstepping his boundary. But once you don't say anything, he's touching you, you're laughing, it will move from one level to the other, and by the time things like that continue to happen, if you get to a stage, you won't be able to stop it. It will get to a stage, you won't be able to stop it, and by the time you want to stop it, it will be difficult, because you've been allowing such things from the onset. You can tell him you are overstepping your boundary. I love my space. As much as I love joking with people, as much I love relationship, as much as I love, having an healthy relationship, but I love my space. When you are you're overstepping your boundary, I will quickly let you know. Hello, you are getting, you are moving too much. You are overstepping your boundaries. So once in an office,
Network. Okay. Hello, Temitayo, can you hear me?
This is the space you can get to. This is the limit. Let them know you won't be able to stop it. And yes, I can.
Okay,
can you hear me?
We can hear you now, so please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I gave my response on that. I said, once in, and I think I gave a scenario of a lady and a guy working together. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please go on.
Okay. So I said I gave a scenario as a guy and a lady working in a hospital. In an organization, they do joke, they do laugh, they talk together. But when it now moved from joking, laughter, and it moves to this touching and stuff like that, and she didn't say anything, it will move from one level to the other. But when you allow this person to know your feelings and need to, for example, you need to always let them know their boundaries. Let them know that you love your space. Let them know you for who you are. They won't overstep their boundaries. But if you allow everything, they will do what you don't expect, and that's how it should be.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for that one. We're still having more questions for you, Temitayo. But let's take a breather. Let's just take a breather. Let's relax a little bit. Take a soft pedal. We're just going to take a breather right now. And of course, we still have Amos Alegbe Temitayo with us, joining us via Zoom. But because we talked about workplace, and the most important thing is, in a week, I think we spend almost 5 days
Yes.
in the office. So it's more like they are family, but not our immediate family. So we spend more time with them. And because of we're talking about boundaries, we're talking about women saying no, we're talking about setting healthy boundaries. That's the most important thing. Let's quickly go watch how to actually keep your working space safe. It's not just about you now, it's not about women, but men. You have to key into this. So when you're working, make sure you're actually following the safety protocols, the safety rules. If you know you are not an electrician, don't tamper with the wires, because you know what's that going to do.
In our generation, every man is an electrician.
Is an electrician. Please don't let your blood be sucked
Oh my
dry.
God.
So these are one of the things we're bringing to you. So let's quickly check workplace safety tips. And of course, we'll be right back to continue with Amos Alegba Temitaya, because we are talking about the power of saying no. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Yes, you're still watching Women's Corner. Yes, that's one is the one that will help you keep your work safety, keep you in your work safely.
Yeah.
Yes, that's English for you. All right, so we still have Amos Alegba Temitayo in the building. So I'm just going to over to my next question. Now, this next question is a bit personal. There are sometimes issues tend to happen in the office with your colleagues. It could be the male folk, it could be the female folk, and of course that's because you probably set a particular boundary and you've made it known, and of course maybe the other person is not trying to understand, or maybe not really understanding what it is. But invariably, as a woman, sometimes we do not want to create enmity. We just want that boundary to be respected, then continue for wherever it stopped, but let that boundary be respected. Now, if the person is still giving you the cold shoulder, the negative vibes, what would you advise a woman should do in that space? Do you think she should just keep that boundary and respect herself and forget about the friendship or the closure, or there's a better way you can go about it without having a negative skin amongst your colleagues and still be able to create a healthy boundary?
Yeah, I think to me, I think the way one can do that is that so far they know that this is who you are, and let them know, and using the word I'm sorry, to tell them this is your stand about that issue. I think you can still be friends with such a person, and once you let them know, oh, I can't do this is who I am, and apologize, sorry, because this is who I am, I can't go beyond this level, and I can do this. So I think that is okay with me, as for me. So it now depends on that fellow, how he or she is taking it. Since you've made your intention known, since you've let the person know that this is who you are, you're sorry, you can't go beyond that level. I think that's okay. If it now depends on that fellow, if he or she is taking it like that, and if it doesn't, so you be on your own. That's just it.
Move on. What do you have? Do you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question, and this is also about the workspace. So, Mrs. Temitayo, can you tell us some of the strategies for setting boundaries with a demanding boss or a demanding client, also without the fear of losing that job? I mean, because it's really hard to set boundaries with your boss work-wise. Like if he tells you this is your work time, and then when it's your work time or it's past your work time and he still wants you to work, how can you even go about it? And you know that, no, this is not your work time. How do you even set boundaries with demanding bosses and demanding clients?
Okay, with demanding bosses or demanding clients,
Yeah.
yes, there'll be times like that they really want to get at you, just to see the way you will react. I will advise that do the one you can do. He will be giving you more.
Okay.
Do it. At times, patience is a virtue, and at times one need endurance.
Yes.
This person has known your name. This is time I'm to close. Some boss can be very, very funny. Likewise, some clients, people like that, you give them a long rope to draw. Allow them. It's not all the time. Am I right? It's not going to be all the time. But when it's getting too much, when it's getting beyond you, this person knows your limit. At times they may be testing your your virtue, testing your value, testing your character, and you may not know. Though they know, oh, this person has told me this is a limit he or she can go, but at times they may use that as a test for you. And then that at times we need, to be patient, endure. At the end, your endurance, your patience will bring out the best in you. And that boss will see, oh, that person or the client, you will notice that I'm overstepping my boundary. Nobody will need to tell them, because they too are human beings, and they know when they are doing something that is wrong. So at times we may need to use patience or endurance to solve such a problem.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Endurance and patience, that's a whole lot. But I actually agree with the boundaries for bosses, because sometimes they want to stretch you. And to be honest, there's always a positive aspect to that stretching, because you tend to do things you never even believed you could do. You handle so much tasks that you do not even you don't even know how you do it, and before you know, the task that was seemingly so difficult, so overwhelming, becomes like a normal, and at a point you feel like you need more to actually keep you busy. I think women, I don't know, for men, because you can come after me now, women have the ability
to bring out the best in you, the best. You too may not know that you have that that ability to cope with such things, but because you are overstretched, you bring out the best in you.
Brings out the best in you. I actually love that part. Okay, let's go over to women now in the office space.
Oh, yes.
Why the yes? Like you have a question. Okay, women to women. You know, we like to gist. We like to talk about everything. We bring a family. We bring a relationship, and we talk about it to our girl person at work. Would you actually subscribe to such a relationship at work? Yes, I've seen people who have grown a friendship which became more like a sisterhood from the office. But how can you actually really set boundaries to know what and what not to say to a female colleague, turned friend, or sister?
All right. Like my brother just say, my elder brother, I would just say something that sorry, I was saying it in Yoruba, then I will interpret. He said, "Iwa jowa ninja jore." Like, if you have the same character, both of you is likely to be more close. So for you having such a friend, you must have seen the character, that person, the way she behaves. You must have seen some similarities, both of you, that she has and you do. So before you achieve that level of closeness, do you get me? And if you have another partner in the office, you will have seen it, you'll have known, oh, this person, I can relate with her, oh, like a family. I can confide in her, I can talk to her, and she won't get upset with me. Some people, you may just throw a little joke to them, and before you know it, they flare up. They won't like it. But another person, that same joke, you try to another person and she was nothing, so you'll have known the kind of person that person is, and then you know that I and this person can relate much. I can confide in this person compared to the other fellow. So with the other fellow, you know your boundary, you know your limit, so that you not get her upset. And that is just it. When you know the character of each person, what they stand for, you won't overstep your boundary. There will be a limit you can go with each of them in the office, and that is it. And let me say something. I still have a friend that we work together. I've left that organization for almost 10 years now, and if I need anything today, it's just a call, and I'll call her, oh, I need your help, and she will go to any length to do that for me. Why? Because when I was there working together with her, we relate, we talk. It's terrifying. Let me see how this person will relate with me. Let me see how this person, if I talk to her, it was all in the course of working together. That we are like a family today. And I have other people there that I work with that I can't call. I know my limits, I know my boundaries with those people.
Yeah.
And that's how it is when it comes to women relationship.
All right. Wow, that is so profound. Okay, so I think this might be the last
Yeah.
question of today. So, what are the consequences of not setting healthy boundaries at work? You know, from women to women, from to colleagues, to bosses, to clients, to even family members. Because from some family members will tell you, no, you need to respect my privacy. You need to respect my boundaries. I have boundaries. So, what are the consequences of not setting these boundaries over time?
Well, if we don't set boundaries, these are the likely things that may happen. One, you remove that self-care and that self-love for yourself. You know, I made mention of it. And that's what most of us, as in this part of the world, we are lacking. Self-love, self-care. Because nobody will respect you. They won't respect you for who you are. I can just bump into this person and ask her to do this for me at any point in time. Because you don't love yourself. Because if you love yourself, you want to know, oh, I'm the first person here. Before help. If you don't help yourself, you'll be able to help others. If you don't love yourself, you'll be able to love others. So self-care,
Yes.
self-love is most important thing for us to do. Then we should avoid over apologizing. Let me put it that way. Let me put it that way. Avoid over apologizing, because when somebody comes to you and says, "Oh, can you help me to do this?" and you said no, you let that person understand your view about it, and then you said, "I'm sorry about that." Then the next time, "Oh, I'm sorry for that I did yesterday." "Oh, I'm sorry." No. You don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that. Then another thing is that you should respect yourself. Respect yourself. Oh, this is who I am. That will maintain a healthy relationship. Once they know you, once they know that this person, before you ask them to do something, if he's going to disturb her, if he's not going to align with her value, she's not going to do it. Once they know you for that, they will respect you, and they will see you as a honest person. He won't say A and he'll be doing B. They know you. Once you say our A is our A and not B. So once we can learn to do that, and we can make people to understand who we are, I think it's going to go a long way in helping us and in maintaining a healthy relationship.
Oh wow! Thank you so much, Madam Temitayo. Thank you so much. I mean, she made so much valid points. And I'm just grateful. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for joining us. It was an amazing session.
It was such an amazing session.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Okay, all right, and that's it from Amos Alegbe Temitayo. She did fabulously well. I hope you
Yes.
picked one or two from creating healthy boundaries. I think the only part for me is the fact whereby if you wronged someone because of your boundary,
Yeah.
when you apologize and the person seems not to stop, please just continue with your life. You let the
Move
person go,
on,
because the
exactly.
person will always keep, stepping on your toes and disrespecting you. So it's better to always set your boundaries so you could be safe. But you know what? Just wrap up. Let's go.
All right. I mean, you know that before I wrap up, I always like to give my 2 cents. And just like Temitayo Amos Alegbe said, she said, if you do not love yourself, you won't be able to love others. You won't be able to dish out the love. You won't be able to dish out love to others. So please love yourself. Learn to set boundaries. It can be hard sometimes, especially setting boundaries with your loved ones. It can be really hard sometimes. But this next year that we're entering into, please let's set boundaries. Let's have let this even be part of our New Year resolution: setting boundaries. Autumn, it'll finish. Anyways, my name still remains Covenant, aka the Lagos Girl, and like I always say, keep learning, keep living, and keep loving. See you shortly at the buzz.
Okay. All right, and that's it on Women's Corner. She did all the justice to all the questions, and of course, Covenanta did a great wrap-up. Like I said, usually would always come to your screen again by 12:05, because we'll be having news on the eyes exactly 12 o'clock, and 12:05 the buzz will be starting. We'll talk about the political angle in this country, and of course, we'll talk about what is happening, what is trending, and the state and affairs of the country. It will come your way again pretty soon. Just stay with us. We love you.
Mwah.
Bye.